we played Bruce Brown's interview and podium. We played Kevin Durant's response. What did you just think of that, and what kind of went down in the physicality that we saw in Nuggets Rockets?
Man, a very, very physical game. It was chippy. It was palpable. You could feel it coming off the court. And, guys were really not afraid to talk about it after the game. Obviously, Bruce Brown, Kevin Durant, Tim Hardaway Jr. was a man of few words about it, but I think in his own way, some pointed words. I'll get to that in a bit. No doubt about it that this was a chippy game. Two contenders who have played each other, 3 times now in the last couple of months, but it culminated in a scuffle between Bruce Brown and Kevin Durant. Whereas I'm sure you guys covered, Bruce said, as a man, there are certain things you don't say to another man. Declined to get specific about what Kevin Durant said, but just felt like some lines were crossed. He had said that his and Durant's relationship, was cool, but that might be cut slow a bit after tonight. Just some really honest stuff from Bruce, obviously.
Yeah, so Bruce said that, and then what do you think about Durant's response? I mean, Durant was asked about it. Did you cross the line, or about Bruce saying you crossed the line? And he was like, yeah, I definitely crossed the line.
Yeah, I felt like he almost said, hell yeah. He didn't, but it looked like he was ready to. He said, yeah, I definitely crossed the line. This is basketball. He said, some people can talk and play, and some people can't. I guess Bruce Brown is still learning how to do that. That's a paraphrase there, but that's basically what he said. He said, look, it's when you get between the lines, it's not all love. It's not always love to me, Kevin Durant said. It's part of the game. It's basketball. So, yeah, I crossed a line tonight.
I love it, man. I love this energy. I mean, Kevin Durant, he loves the trash talking aspect of the game. I just love that Bruce was bringing it and going at him even with the Nuggets down. I just love that Bruce brought that energy tonight.
That you don't say as a man. Vote. What's one for you? Is it cut the malarkey, or what is it for you that you can't say cross the line?
Cut the malarkey is it, Dev. That one.
Yeah,
I know
tough,
it. I know
you
it.
say that to me,
Yeah,
I'm fighting.
I know it.
Look, I'm really sensitive. There are a lot of things you can say to me that for me would cross the line, but NBA players not so much. You don't always see this. You don't always see the scuffle, but then both players kind of shedding as much light as they did after the game on the nature of the scuffle. No love lost between Bruce Brown and Kevin Durant. Although Kevin Durant remains, guys, a big fan of Nikola Jokic and his game. Kind of lost in that clip. He called Jokic one of the top 10 or even top 5 players that he's ever seen play basketball. So Durant was he was on one, man. He was in quite the mood after a big win where tensions flared, but he still managed to sneak in some praise for Jokic. We spoke with David Adelman tonight, who felt like the game came down to the disparity in made threes. He said 19-8 in made threes. That's the game right there. We missed some shots. They made some shots. It was just one of those nights in the NBA. They were the better team tonight, just like we were the better team a few nights ago, he was quick to say as well. So a little tip of the hat to the Houston Rockets. But, of course, David Adelman was also involved in some high tension and chippy basketball tonight. He got ejected, fighting for a call on Jokic or a no call. He really wanted the tech, didn't get it at first, kept going deep into the timeout, basically insisting that he would get it, got ejected after the game. He was asked about it, and he said, I just felt like it was a reaction to the game earlier in the week, which, again, guys, remember Udoka's comments after that game where he felt Zach Zarba was starstruck and his crew had no business being there. Adelman felt like the officiating tonight was a bit of a reaction to that game. And then he said, I was just confused. I was looking for answers. I went out there to find them, and it turned out I had to leave.
That's a Michael Malone response. David Adelman channeling his inner Michael Malone again.
Exactly, man. It was actually hilarious. But then I think he quickly had to remember the tone of the night was not so fun and not so cheery. But he gave a little credit to the Rockets. He also wanted to give a lot of credit to the third unit, who he thought came in and didn't just kind of go through the motions, didn't just kind of put their heads down and mope. They really competed and did their best to make that a game. So he gave them a shout out. Bruce Brown also said, guys, he went to that Avs game last night and he was asked if there's anything he's learned from hockey. And he said, I wish there was fighting, meaning in basketball. And I wish we didn't find. In fact, Bennett said, would you have thought about dropping the gloves tonight if that was kosher, so to speak? And Bruce said, I would have thought about it for sure. So Bruce also called this what I think we could all see it, maybe would be a really good playoff series if these two teams meet up, especially because there's a little bit of tension here now in the air when these two teams meet. Tim Hardaway Jr. spoke very, very briefly in the locker room. He made sure to say on more than one occasion that the Rockets had lost a couple of games in a row in overtime. So they came in really determined. He just, he said it wasn't much more to it than that, but he did not seem pleased. Obviously, he and KD got into it a couple of times. It was a tense one, guys. It was a tense one, no doubt about it. Unfortunately, the NBA's longest winning streak is snapped, and it only took me 24 hours to jinx that 10-game win streak into oblivion.
Man, Vote. Anything else from the arena?
It was weird because this one sputtered out and Denver's offense was so bad, but these two teams playing basketball is awesome, right? I think when you watch another team, you watch these two teams play and you think, yeah, we've got a long way to go. Denver really didn't play very well tonight. I thought they were kind of due for it, to be honest. It's really hard to beat the Rockets 3 times in a couple of months, missing a couple of guys. All the same, they don't want to use that as an excuse. The offense just wasn't good enough. We'll see how they respond.
See, because we could only see when they were panned. But Taco Bell went all out on getting those shirts for everybody in the arena. Were people wearing them?
I don't think people were wearing. It's hard enough to get people to wear playoff shirts. I think a lot of people didn't know what to do with these. Think about it, Dev. If you weren't online, like if you were just a Nuggets fan and you showed up to the arena, you'd have been so confused tonight. Like, what is this shirt? Why am I doing this? Taco Bell did their best to take over Ball Arena. It wasn't really a factor in any of the action after the pregame festivities.
Dang, they didn't even buy a commercial. I would assume that they would have had it play up there and say how we messed up. Right. You got to get everybody into it.
We do need an ad with the original footage from draft night.
Yeah, and then you pan into like now or something like that. Yeah, they missed. They dropped the ball on that one.
All right, thanks, Vote. Appreciate it, man.
My pleasure, fellas. See you soon.